The reason I'm interested in them is because they have a story, and back in the days, they were actually, some of them were actually my favorite. And I'm not talking about the fancy guns like the Rolls Royces, Bentleys of the days. No, not at all. I'm talking about models as simple as a Ford Transit, everyone. Something interesting, something just simple, affordable. Back in those days, already standing right here, I can see some interesting classics. Well, if not classics, some good old 90s and 2000s. And so I was also interested in, like, what's this history they have, each of them. All right, we're gonna check it out right now. All right, so I am at a town called Namur. Well, it's not a town, it's a city in Belgium. And I found this amazing, well, I think garage is the right term to call it, or junkyard. Well, I mean, to me it looks like a junkyard because look at all the old goodies we get. Right behind me is an old Chrysler Saratoga. Audi, what is your story, bro? What are you doing here? You look new to me. I remember this used to be very popular on the roads here in Belgium, and now it seems like not many people like these kind of cars. Oh. Yeah, the interior. I remember back in the days, the Audi A4, no, I think this is an A5, yeah, A5. It was a big buzz. Everyone loved it. Everyone talked about it, but now it's like, it's just neglected. Sweet Chrysler. I remember these cars used to be quite a hot seller back in the days. We're talking early 2010s. But now they've all vanished, and this is where they are, guys. There's even another Chrysler right there. It's the Sebring, Chrysler Sebring. It's, yeah. And right here, old Opel. Volvo! Volvo, oh my goodness. You're here. Volvo is intact. But why you got so many things in the back, bro? Have you been moving houses? Please tell me the previous owner had a mansion. I mean, look at those kind of doors he's got there. Wow. And the interior, well, that's a lot of mold in the interior, but get it cleaned and this car would be good to run. Oh my goodness. Those window buttons. You know Volvo still uses those kind of window buttons in their new cars? And then you have the Citroen Berlingo right there. Oh my goodness, that one has seen better days. Good old Ford Transit, everybody. I remember this particular model used to be very popular back in the days. In the early 2000s, I used to see lots of these kind of model Ford Transit. And it's really funny how big that steering wheel is. I mean, if you look at the vans of today, the steering wheels are small. Oh, it's locked. Let's see if we can open it from inside. Oh, it's jammed, I think. Oh, got it. There you go. Oh, yep. I like how the seat is brown leather. It's like it looks premium, and the rest of the interior is just hard plastic. Oh my goodness. But that steering wheel is huge. Wow. But then, to be fair, back in the days, power steering wasn't really much of a thing, so they needed it. Ford S-Max. Wow, back in the early 2010s, this particular car used to dominate the Belgian roads, and now look at where it has ended up. What's your story, bro? Whoa! Oh my goodness, you have so many things missing. Oh, you have electric seating adjustments, though. I remember these kind of models. I just wonder if that infotainment system would still work if it were to fire up. The thing about the Ford cars is that they were cheap to afford, but their reliability was always hit or miss, and the quality as well. This car has definitely seen better days. It's like clinging to its last piece of metal. LDV, what are you doing here, bro? How did you end up here? What is your story? Borne-Mechelen. I'm very curious to know what is the story behind this van right now, because from last I recall, LDV wasn't really a hot seller here in Belgium. Now, I don't know if they were ever sold in Europe, because I know on the British Isles, they were used extensively as the Royal Mail vans. But here in Belgium, it is extremely rare. I mean, I never even knew these were sold here, so I'm curious about the story of this van. Yeah, it's very interesting what's going on right here. Holy moly! Studebaker, what are you doing here? How did you end up here, bro? Now I'm very curious to know what is his story. What's your story? Can I even open the door? Yeah, never mind. It's not worth it, but... Oh, wow. You've definitely seen better days. Oh my gosh, look at the roof. The paintwork is like peeling off. Definitely seen better days, but I'm very curious about the Studebaker right here. Because when we think of the Studebaker brand, they actually had a model that shook the entire automotive industry that time. It was so unique, groundbreaking, and if I recall correctly, that model was made. It was built in collaboration with an Italian manufacturer. I'm not entirely sure, but it didn't end very well. Only a few examples were built, and it disappeared. Mercedes E-Class. This kind of Mercedes used to be popular on the Belgian roads too. They used to be everywhere, but just like other generation Mercedes E-Class. But then as the generation... What? Oh wow, look at all the car keys in the water. Oh dear. Anyways, can we open it? Oh, we can open it. Oh, yeah. That's a lot of mold inside, guys. Look at the wooden trim though. The wooden trim is starting to show its age. This car could do with some restoration, I can definitely confirm. Although this is the first time I see this kind of wheel on a E-Class. Iveco... Yeah, it's a version that has the double wheels at the back and it's missing one of them, if you notice. What are you transporting in the back? Let's take a look what he's got in the back. If it's even open. Yeah, it's locked. Oh, the back of the Studebaker. Looks nice. I'm still curious about the story of it. And the Iveco, we can't really reach the front because of the clutter on the side. Mini! Oh my goodness! Mini, what are you doing here? Bro, you've got British license plates on you. Did you actually come from the British Isles all the way there? You did, didn't you? Oh my gosh, that Ford Fiesta. It's a Fiesta, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Oh gosh, Ford Fiesta, what has happened to you, bro? You got hurt. Yeah, he must have been involved in a rear collision. And that's a Citroen, I bet, isn't it? It's a Citroen. Has to be. Right behind a Volvo hearse. Volvo, how did you end up there? I like how all of the Volvos I find in this junkyard are in perfect condition. They're like, you know, even that one is in perfect condition. The bonnet looks like it's about to fall off, but apart from that, just fix everything and it's good to go. Oh, look what we have over here. Ford Focus Coupe. That's interesting. Now, back in the days, these kind of cars were actually... They were not a hot seller, but they were very popular because of their rear design. Like, this particular design is something that always stood with me. It's something unique. Opel Insignia. I have to confess, this has to be my most favorite Opel model ever. I really like this particular design. This particular was always my favorite, but these cars always had a mixed trade. They were not perfect at anything. They were not the best of reliability. They were not the best of style. They were just average. There was just always everything average about them. But I was always a fan of the Opel Insignia. In fact, I had a chance to drive one of this, and I remember being very impressed with it. It drove flawlessly. This car was fun to drive. Just unfortunate how that's not really the same thing everyone can say about it, because the reliability and then competitors offered something better. Oh, wow, everybody. That was an interesting experience. Just one observation, I noticed that there are quite a good number of Ford Transit, but that's because this particular place, I think, must have been a Ford dealership. But that was ages ago. Looks like these guys have had front-end collisions. What's your story, bro? You look like the newest in this entire place. What year is he from? But it's like too badly destroyed, you can't really tell what year it's from. Oh, the side door opens perfectly. That's good. Okay, perfect. And it's the same year as this bad boy right here, but this one has been gutted out completely. I mean, look at him, he's got no seats inside. Ford Transit van, the good old ones from the 2000s. Definitely seen better days with the front. Wheel hubcaps like this, I've seen them. They used to be very popular. In fact, at my school, we used to have school buses that would have exactly these kind of hubcaps, but the height configuration was lower. Ford Transit, which used to work for an electric company. An electrician, I think that's the term. It's interesting. Wheels have been stripped off. Yeah. And this is a Ford Transit pickup, well, flatbed pickup. It's good. Wow, but this one has been gutted out. Well, the front seat has been removed. Wonder why. But it doesn't matter. I mean, it's still restorable. At least this one is in good condition. Look at the front. The front seems in good condition. But I guess I'm just judging the book by the cover. I should check out what's inside. Funny, right here there's a Hyundai. It's been a long time since I last seen those. Now, I recently reviewed a brand new Hyundai Staria, and this is the Hyundai Starex. So when I saw the new Hyundai Staria, I immediately thought of something like this, guys. Wow. This one looks like his engine has been gutted out completely. Oh boy, that's horrible. What has happened to you? Oh, that's gotta hurt. Look at what this Ford Focus is going through. It's the same one we saw earlier, but this one is, yeah, it's gone, it's gone. Oh dear. Let's try to see the interior. Oh, judging by the deployed airbags, looks like this one had seen a front-end collision. Oh, Mercedes Vito. Oh, what are you doing here, bro? How did you end up here? I mean, not surprising seeing you here, but hey, you get you cleaned and you're in good state. And even that wheel is flat, really, but that doesn't matter. Oh, I like the sound of the door. Oh, see, that's the thing about Mercedes. They have really good sounds for their doors, whereas every Ford Transit I've seen, it's like plastic. Oh my gosh. Wow, good old interiors of the Mercedes Vito. The steering wheel resembles what I've seen on the Sprinter of that era, the 90s. And Mercedes always had their handbrake on this side. That's interesting. Yeah, looks like this Ford Transit died working very hard. I mean, look at him. He's carrying an engine on the back. I'm curious, what kind of engine is that? I'm not sure. And oh, his interior has been completely gutted out, but judging by that square right there, he has had an infotainment system at one point. Interesting. Otherwise, yeah. Ooh, that wheel is rusty. Oh boy. It's gone. Oh, look at the details right here. Oh, the steering system. That's nice. And that Ford Transit as well has been, well, its engine has been gutted out. This is a completely destroyed Ford Fiesta. They had to remove the roof. Okay, another collision. I understand. There's another Vito right there. Oh, Volkswagen Transporter, what are you doing there? I'm surprised seeing a Transporter at last, because I remember there was a junkyard which had only Volkswagen Transporters, but that was like far away, and the owner of that junkyard didn't want me filming, so yeah. What on earth is this? Why is there a Mazda truck with a Citroen badge on it? Nice try, Mazda, but we all know you're a Mazda. You're not a Citroen. If it was a Citroen, they'd be all stylish. Although, what is true is that at one point, Citroen did build a mid-sized truck, but that was like long ago, like back in the 70s. And right behind is a Dacia Duster. Now, this is very interesting. This is a very interesting car. It's quite nice. Also popular, but they went extinct very quickly, and they were not very desirable cars. Everyone hated the Dacia Duster back in the days. Wow. Yeah. Goodbye, Duster. But you could do with a bit of dusting, that's for sure. No way, that's a Mercedes Vaneo. Oh, yes. Okay, so basically this was a Mercedes Vaneo. I don't understand what exactly the philosophy was, but my best guess tells me the philosophy of the Vaneo was to beat the crap out of the Volkswagen Caddy back in the days. But let's just say Mercedes was a failure at this. It was like a baby version of a Mercedes Vito. So today would be known as the Mercedes Citroen. But yeah, you're better off staying there, Vaneo. Nobody misses you. Nobody misses the Vaneo. Everybody misses the other classic Mercedes models. Oh, speaking of classic cars, look what I found here. Underneath over there's something American, but I just can't tell what it is. Looks... let me try to zoom in. Let's see. What is this? Mark 7. Mark 7. What could this be? Chrysler? Chrysler, is that you again? And over here's a good old Saab. How did you end up here, bro? Saab. Over here's a good old Saab. Oh my gosh. Saab. Saab. You must be very reliable. I mean, being Swedish, these guys were very reliable back in the days. Too bad they just didn't have the popularity. Bentley. Bentley, how did you end up here? Let me try to open this door. It's locked. It's fine. Bentley, good thing you're under this because, oh my goodness. What would have happened if you were exposed to the air outside? The horrible climate. Bentley, you've definitely seen better days though. It's an Arnage, isn't it? Bentley Arnage. Wow. What is that big American right there? Right next to the Mercedes SL. Oh. And over here is an MG, isn't it? That's an MG. MG. Oh. Too bad the MGs of today are not the same as this beaut right here. So right here, we've got a Dodge. And over there is a Buick. I think that's a Buick Roadmaster, isn't it? Has to be a Roadmaster. Please tell me. Oh, Mercedes with a French license plate to it. Oh, right. I'm curious about the story behind that Mercedes right now. But this Buick Roadmaster has far more interesting story to tell. Oh, boy. Can we see his license plates? No, we can't. What's that in the corner right there, I wonder? Let's try to zoom in. I think... Cadillac. Good old Cadillac. I'm just curious to know what's right behind him. You abomination. I'm sorry to say this, but you deserve to be here, man. I remember the Audi A2 models. They were short sellers. They didn't last very long. I think nobody liked these cars. They only bought it as an A to B machine. But, oh gosh. I never liked them. I never liked them. Oh, wow. That's a Citroen XM, isn't it? Please tell me this is the XM, or am I confusing with the Zantia? I think... Yes, this is the XM. Citroen XM. Bro, how are you doing? Now, the Citroen XM, I mean, these cars were quite rare for me to spot even when I was a kid, but... I mean, I did see these, but they didn't last very long. They were very fragile in terms of reliability. Their electronics didn't last very well, and their quality was bad. Just everything about the Citroen XM was bad. They didn't see the same level of success compared to the German competitors. But the only thing nice about the XM was its design. Bentley! Oh, wow. This is a Bentley right here. There's a Rolls Royce in that shed right over there. Wow. These sheds are full of good old timers. Just need a bit of dusting, but that's it. And look what I found over there, a Mercedes elevator truck. It's interesting. Wonder what's he doing over there isolated. And then this looks like a, well, I mean, I was going to say Piaggio. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I can't be too sure, everybody. Lincoln. Nice to see a Lincoln hearse right here. The wheels look like they're from a 4x4 or something. Good. And then there's a Mercedes SL right here. This is the European version, because there's also the American version, the American spec, and that one has twin headlights, and that's my favorite. Oh look, there's a cat. Hey kitty. Now to my surprise, over here we have a Renault. Yes, believe it or not, this is a Renault. It had me thinking it was something American at first, but then upon closer inspection, I read the front and it's written Renault, and it's even written Renault France, guys. I mean, they're this proud about it. Well, at least that was the time, if you think about it. Now, when it comes to utility vehicles, Renault was mostly known for its Renault Saviem, I think, with the Berlier. Berlier did all the big trucks, the big heavy-duty trucks. And the Renault Saviem was responsible mostly for the bad boys like this. It's locked. But it doesn't matter, guys. Just what matters is this bed is broken. I think the wood is gone now. They need to replace it. And that's everyone. My visit to this junkyard. Very interesting experience. Very interesting history. So it was once a Ford dealership, if I'm correct. And then they... pretty much now just hoard up all the good old classics, which I don't see anymore these days, which we all don't see anymore these days. Please let me know in the comments if you want me to visit more junkyards, if you want me to check out some more rare classics. I'll see you all next time.